Oh no, I stepped in shit.
Don't stop coming, fed to the rules, and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense, not the
Memes aside, I'm really only here to talk about some of the greatest movies and probably one of the only perfect movie series out there. I could debate all day about how I think all the Star Wars movies are perfect and how much I love the sequels, but nobody else agrees with that. That's more of a hot take video. The only series that I think people actually universally agree are close to perfect are Kung Fu Panda and Harry Potter. And again, those could even be a hot take, but I think Shrek is universally agreed on, or at least where I come from, that it really is one of the greatest series of all time. I'm only going to cover the first two this time, but we'll cover the next two in a second part video. But you need to understand how perfect it is. Memes aside, the first one, because come on, let's be honest, as part of the popularity of this movie, we need to address everything from the cinematography to the just pure and kind of adult joke theme that you can find when you come back and watch the movie again years later.
That's no mine.
To the just godly soundtrack throughout every movie.
Nobody once told me the world is gonna boy man haunted all my dreams. And then I saw her face.
I could honestly go on and on about all those themes for ages and ages, but it's just, there's so much to go through in each movie. As for the first one itself, I know that there's probably very few people out there who haven't seen it, and the sequels, I know there's very few people who have, but I think it's kind of a requirement that anybody out there should have seen the first Shrek. Even just memes aside, cinematography aside, it's just a good movie. It's something anybody can pick up and enjoy. It has a good moral, it has a good plot, it's just good overall. But personally, me, I like to look deeper into things. I like to look at the meaning behind it. I like to look at all the messages. I like to look at the animation, which for the time was pretty good. And also, side note, has anybody seen those weird ass projects or whatever? The first beta tests. Those things were creepy. Damn. But anyways, back to it. That's one thing I love about Shrek is because each movie has its own sort of message. The first one is about accepting who you are. And obviously we see this a lot with The Wedding, how Shrek's always terrified of being looked at as not a scary ogre. It's kind of a cool message. The second one's about not letting people deter you from who you are. We see this when Shrek feels like he has to change to make Fiona happier. We see this when Prince Charming attacks him because he's an ogre. We see this when he feels out of place in the kingdom. It's because he feels different, but he needs to accept who he is. The third one's about family and about defending a family, starting a family, really just change in general that comes with having a family. We see this with all the dreams with all the babies and stuff. He's scared to have a family because he's scared that they're ogres and that they'll be just like him. The fourth one's kind of rocky, but from the best I can tell, it's about not wanting to change what you have and being happy with it and not trying to take what's not yours. We see this when he goes to an alternate reality or a dream, I don't really remember, and with all the other ogres and Rumpelstiltskin as king and all that kind of stuff, just to have a day where he is still just a normal ogre. And some people are willing to argue that the movie, the quality falls off the further in the series it gets, but honestly, I just don't think that's true. I think all of these movies are pretty much equally good. One is far more memeable and is more well known, obviously, but it's still, watching all three of them back to back, or all four of them in 2 nights, I can really tell you the quality stays about the same. Someone at that company of DreamWorks worked really hard to keep these movies really good, and I think it pays off. None of these movies feel tacked on or extra. They all feel like they complete a story all revolving around Shrek and Fiona and Donkey. Every character has their own sort of special moments where they get a little bit of character development, even the unimportant ones like Pinocchio. Everybody has their little moments to shine, and it's so lovable. Even the villains are lovable. Everybody can be loved, whether it's you love how much that you hate them, or you just love how much they're funny and entertaining. That's about it for this one. I'm hoping to have the part 2 up in a few weeks. I'm not really sure. I'm dying. I'm sick as fuck, so we'll see what happens. That's about it. See ya.
Well, somebody better be dying.
I'm dying.
Ese compa ya está muerto.
no más no le han avisado.